jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Once again, you're tuned in to WCS. Big salute to the supporters. First and foremost, those of you that support the channel, rock with the channel, tune in and get the notifications. You already know what it is, man. So let's get down to it. You know, I tried to put this out there on my live the other day. You know, in a non-discreet type of way. I just wanted people to tell me. And I didn't hear too many people talking about it. I was saying, hey, out there in Texas talking about the fight. No one wanted to say anything. I was saying it because, God damn it, the fight's supposed to be so up in the blimp right now. The announcement, you know, they saying gonna go down and shit. You know, whether they just putting out fake news or what, but no one even put it in the chat to say, hey, he out there shooting hoop. He out there shooting hoop. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? Check this out right quick, shawty. You feel me? We're going to get to some boxing topics too. But check this out. And shout out to the channel, Bud Crawford beats Easy Route Spence. Make sure you sub to his channel. This is his video. Check this out, though. Check him out, yo. I mean, he's to his left. He loves going to his left. You know what I'm saying? He loves going to his left. You know what I'm saying? Yak it. Somebody stop him, man. I try to tell him. That's why it's going to be a bit difficult for them Spencerholics to understand. They're dealing with an athlete. Some people say athlete. They're dealing with an athlete. You know what I'm saying? They're dealing with an athlete, man. He's out there shooting buckets. Buckets upon buckets. You know what I'm saying? This is only the snippet. This is only a snippet, man. You know, shout out to Bud Crawford beats Easy Route Spence channel. You know what I'm saying? That was his video. I gotta cite him. You know what I'm saying? L-Dog, what's good? 50 doing his thing. And NBA, his liquor company will be sponsored by the Sacramento Kings. Yeah, I'm glad that he's still rocking and rolling, man. Especially the way he sold the vitamin water back in the day, man. I mean, hey, shout out to him. Continue to make that bread. You know, melt that cheese. You know how it is, man. But once again, I want to touch bases on the difficulty, you know, that I'm having trying to convince them that this is going to be something different. You feel me? Like him being an athlete, multi-sport. I told you when I was in Texas and I was recording, and the situation came up where he was out there running routes with a friend. He got speed, man. He got speed. You know, you have to give him credit for that. He definitely has speed when it comes down to his collateral athletic ability. You know, that's the only thing I can say about it. Like when it comes to comparing him with Spence, as an all-around athlete. There's no comparison. Listen, he's in Texas, right? You know what I'm saying? He's in Texas and still no meeting. You know what I'm saying? No running to each other at the basketball game. None of that. I'm just saying, y'all. Like they say the fight's gonna be announced, right? And I've seen this, I've witnessed this before with my own eyes. Crawford's out here playing basketball, and supposedly this announcement is gonna take place really soon, which you can't expect. You don't want no injuries or anything, right? But no, no, no. I've seen Bud up there wrestling before he had to defend his title. I've seen him wrestling. I can attest that I seen Shakur Stevenson do the exact same thing. Him and Bud was wrestling prior to defending their title. That's no cap, man. That is no freaking cap. In NYC, man, Bud was up there wrestling with I guess some of his friends or whatever. And they, as they call it in the old school days, those of you that remember, horseplaying. They was horseplaying. You know what I'm saying? But supposedly this announcement is supposed to be coming up. September is about to be on deck, and allegedly it's going to be in November. So we're gonna have to figure this out. Hold on for a sec. Yeah, we back. What's going on, Balash? How you feeling, bro? Shout out to everyone that's in the building, man. L Dog, Balash. Everybody else is tuned in, but haven't jumped in the live chat. If you can, just hit the like button if you feel so desire. So I keep, reiterating. L Dog say, remember when Crawford played in 2018 Celebrity? Yeah, I remember. Look, this is what I've been trying to tell him. L Dog, this is what I've been trying to tell him, right? When it comes to athleticism, it plays an important role, even though the physicality is quite different than what it consists of in the boxing ring. Still, it contributes. It contributes to that. It carries over. When you have someone that can play multiple sports, we all know Crawford has speed. He has wrestling pedigree. He can ball out with the hoops. You know what I'm saying? That plays a significant role in certain areas of the fight where he may be able to do a little bit different. He may be able to go into other areas that Spence ain't used to. He may be able to move around a little different. That may be the reason why he's so confident, you know what I'm saying? And just, soaking in the process, delegating his authority at his own pace and not even worrying. When you know you're gifted and you're athletic, then guess what? I mean, you have a much more higher level of confidence when you're in there in combat. Just like I tell them all the time that boxers should take some type of mixed martial arts training, especially in the clinch. Perfect example. Shout out to Jun Kao down here at AT&T Atlanta. He was in there showing Michael Seals and Carlos Jackson some technique in the clinch. And the reason why this was a topic of discussion was because Michael Seals was able to, he's a boxer now, light heavyweight. They call him Cannon Hands. Make sure you follow him on IG. But he went into the triad combat and fought a discipline that he hasn't fought before against Michael Perry, who was a mixed martial artist. And anyone and everyone who knows Michael Platinum Perry knows he's all about the warfare. But one thing that stood out, Michael Seals said that Perry knew how to clinch and hit. He knew how to move around on the inside and hit. It wasn't so much that he was, fighting dirty. It was just he knew how to control his opponent from that mixed martial arts background. And Jun Kao was pretty much demonstrating to Michael Seals how that entire process worked. And it was amazing to see how boxers can also use the same clinch technique when they're close to their opponent. Instead of just doing the regular, hold on, turn, reset, whatever the case may be. It's a little bit different on how you control your opponent hand, mixed martial arts or considerably BJJ. It's all about position before submission. So in order for you to get the position, you have to have a method of control. You know what I'm saying? So, he was just showing him that. And I say that to say this is that, Errol Spence wrestling pedigree, he has to know how to grab a hold of you. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to control once he gets in close. He knows how to manipulate on where he wants you to go or where he's trying to go. That's not just talk. That's not just something. Look, only the ignorant will look at that and listen to what I'm saying and say, "Oh, he don't know this shit, man." Bro, that don't make a difference. It does, man. It does, man. Real talk. Wrestling, having that wrestling pedigree, and them dudes are different. Wrestling is no joke. Grappling is no joke. You know what I'm saying? Being able to, play football in a way that, people can say, okay, so-and-so got a little game. We're not talking about comparable to the professional league, but we're talking about so-and-so got a little game. Okay, got some wheels on them. Got some wheels. All right. And then for basketball, to go out there and drop threes like that, I've always told people, man, he was a more athletic fighter out of him and Spence. If him and Spence was in a street fight, it wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't be close because once Bud Crawford changed levels on Spence and go in for a single or double and gets him on the ground, all that boxing shit goes out the window. You can hit all you want, but when you start to feel that choke or whatever the case may be, you feel like your body's being controlled and you can't do shit about it. Then the attitude changes. Like, all right, you got me. All right, man, damn. You play too much, man. God damn. Let me up, man. It wouldn't even be close, y'all. It wouldn't even be close. I'm just saying. Eldar said, you seen that clip of Bud taking down an Olympic wrestler from Kazakhstan, Bud abnormally strong. Yeah, I seen it, man. He pinned him. He pinned him. Shout out to Andrew Charles. Yeah, he pinned him. You know what I'm saying? He pinned him. And not to mention he was in slides. Who does that? Who does that, man? He was in slides. Slides. How are you? Look, how are you going to deny that that's a problem that you can't change in the gym? No matter what you see, you can see Bud out here wrestling, you can see him playing basketball. That doesn't mean, DJ is going to go up there and say, hey, we need you to be at the gym. We got to practice on some hoops. And I need you at the high school, the local high school. We're going to practice on some wrestling. And they already know that. Errol Spence is not cut from that cloth where he's an all-around athlete. He may be able to milk a cow, a heifer, and bring some milk back, but he's not an all-around athlete like that. I heard he plays soccer or something. Somebody told me back in the day that he plays soccer, supposedly. But we're talking about real life. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford has those skills. He's out there on the court. He's on the football field and the practice field in Frisco, Texas, running routes with his boy. And, he got some wheels on him. He fast, man. So you can take how dynamic of an athlete he is and compare to how he's going to be able to move and manipulate his opponent in the ring on fight night. There's something to be concerned about in a lot of areas that doesn't have anything to do with boxing. Now, to the basic, simple-minded boxing fan, they will pretty much jettison this as nothing. It would just be foolish banter to them. They won't take it serious until he steps in there with Spence and Crawford shows the world certain areas of his fight game that they ain't seen yet. Because he's been called all sorts of names for not displaying all his technique. For those simple-minded individuals who call that stupid, I call it genius. Because if the man is still contending on a high level with the amount of wins and knockouts that he has, and you're talking about that he hasn't shown all his skills, then how difficult is it, do you think it's going to be for Errol Spence and DJ to do film study? Because if you're saying that he hasn't displayed all his skills, then you only have what he's been able to display. And we all know a lot of that has been thrown out the window when it comes to pure offensive strategy. When he click on that switch, it's over. He just pretty much commenced the dog walking. You've seen it happen. He went into the Benavidez fight. They had words. It even got a little spicy at the freaking face-off. And that fight went into the 12th round. But guess what? It wasn't like you seen a offensive strategy. He was just going in there and he was getting it in. You know what I'm saying? What happened when Kavaliauskas did what he did? You know what I'm saying? He was able to land that punch. Hey, Bud got to a point where, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to show you what I am, what I do. When he turns it on, he's pretty much say, you prove that you better than me. I want you to prove that you better than me. That's all. You got my attention. Prove that you better than me now. He's been in that situation, even with Amir Khan, man. He just totally dominated Amir Khan. It's better not to have Bud pissed off than to tell him some shit like you behind in the fight. And he's like, I know what I've been doing. I don't think that's true, but okay. And then he goes in there and just hit another switch, and it goes all bad for his opposition. You can ask Sean Porter that. Eldar say Floyd and Roy also got skills with The Rock. Yeah, for sure. Roy Jones, of course, when he went in there and fought Eric, what's his name? Eric, I forgot the boxer's name. His name was Eric Lucas. Eric Lucas. You didn't think I know that, but I know a little bit about boxing. I think his name was Eric Lucas. Y'all can look that shit up. But yeah, he went and played a basketball game before stepping in there with Eric Lucas. And I know y'all like, well, it was goddamn Eric Lucas, goddamn it. But still, he played hoop. Man was a freak of nature, dog. He did some shit that he didn't care. And look how Roy moved around in the ring, man. You can tell he was a multi-sport athlete. It was certain things he was able to do in the ring that you had to be blessed with. And that's what I'm saying about Crawford. Certain things that he's blessed with, he can pick and choose and how he used that in the ring. He can be very, very selective, man. You can't have wrestling ability like that and don't ask yourself, why was he able to just push Sean Porter back to the ropes, really clinch him up and walk him back to the ropes like he was a little kid? That's wrestling, man. That's knowing how to get a hold of your opponent the right way, how to use your hips. I mean, I'm not saying, Crawford's Olympic. I haven't seen him wrestle in the Olympics. But that clip that L-Dog was talking about, that's legit. That was a legit wrestler, bro. And Crawford was in motherfucking slides. He wasn't even in wrestling shoes. He wasn't even in tennis shoes with the laced up tight. He didn't say, hold up. See, me, I was, hold up for a second. Let me warm up a bit, bro. We have a gap in age, okay? Warm up a little bit. Shit. Somebody got some icy hot around this bitch? Anybody? Heating pad? Let me lace these motherfuckers up. Hey, can I get some of that duct tape? I have to duct tape my shit up, dog. I'm going in there with the wrestler who actually wrestles. Crawford wrestled this dude in slides and pinned him. It wasn't no bullshit ass pin. You could see the technique and everything, the way he adjusts his head at the end and rotate over. I mean, dude, that's technical shit, man. And once again, the boxing temporaries, they're going to be up here saying they don't have shit to do with boxing. He better worry about what Spence has to offer. That's just the point. When your mind is the way I see Crawford's mind and how he goes out there and fight, he isn't afraid of taking risk and changing gears. Crawford isn't afraid of taking risk and changing gears. That's some confidence for your ass right there. He isn't afraid of that. No matter how much volume they're talking about Errol Spence coming out the gate and throwing all these punches. Look, listen to me. I hope he does. I hope he comes out the gate, shifting gears and being number 5 or 6. Come out the gate throwing body punches and everything. Because I love to see a good fight. You know what I'm saying? I expect nothing less from Errol Spence to do that. I expect nothing less from him to do that. But he has to understand that if his own fans are saying that Crawford is stupid for not using his entire skill set, and we've seen everything there is to see about Errol Spence, shouldn't he have something to worry about? You better bet. Every dollar that you have, he better have something to worry about. If they're talking about that Terrence Crawford isn't the smartest boxer because he doesn't use all his skills, what does that tell you, bro? That it's trouble that lie ahead. Because you can come out and you can let your hands go all you want, but it's going to come down to what? The durability. It's going to come down to the conditioning. It's going to come down to the 65% that I told you all that Bud Crawford has that Errol Spence doesn't. Y'all know how one-dimensional Errol Spence is. Just because he go to the body and the head doesn't make him outside of a one-dimensional fighter. It's pretty much an easy prediction to say what he's going to do because his Spencer Harlequins, they talk about it all the time. He can't handle the pressure, under pressure. I mean, it's gonna take more than pressure, a different type of pressure. You're gonna have to know how to switch gears on that pressure. It's not gonna be 5, 6 you know what I'm saying, all fight long. It's not going to be that way because there are going to be punches coming back in return. There's not going to be a mannequin challenge where he's just going to be able to hit that, opponent in Crawford like Crawford is General Bob. No, he's not him. Believe that shit. I want to see a fight. I want to see the best Spence that we can get when he steps in there. I'm telling you, you're dealing with an all-around athlete. Did you see his daughter? Let me show you something. Let me show you how the DNA runs. Big Blunts and Boxing on deck with it. What's good, bro? How you feeling? Let me show you something. I never even used this. I was going to use it, and it still is in the future. But let me show you something, man. Let me show you this thumbnail, man. His DNA runs seriously. His sons are wrestlers, and we already know that viral video of his daughter running out of her shoes. For those of you that ran track like myself, she ran out of her spikes. If that's, at that age, she's using spikes. She ran out of her spikes, returned in the opposite direction, retrieved her spikes, her one spike, slipped it on her foot, and commenced to go fishing. What I mean by fishing, that means she set the reel out there and she started reeling them in. Something's in the DNA, shawty. For a kid that age to go the opposite direction, grab her shoe, take off, and still win the race. It's crazy. The craziness in that. That is absolutely mayhem, yo. That's insanity. That's insanity, bro. Hold up. I'm gonna get you this right quick. Just hold on for a second. Hey. You know what? Let me check something out. Let me see what I got this. Y'all be patient. Be patient. I gotta get this. Shit's insane, man. Give me one mic. Okay. I have to put this up there because I don't think the Spencerholics understand how deep the situation is for them. They're just talking about boxing, but this extends far out the realm of boxing. And I try to break it down as best as I possibly can. I try my damnedest to articulate it in a sense where it's not too complex for interpretation. I'm not trying to go online and hire a dragamon or anything like that. I'm just saying there's a lot more to be concerned about when it comes down to messing with them Crawfords. That's all I'm saying. It's just a little bit more you have to be. Hold up. I know I just didn't do that. Check this out. Now just take a little moment. I just want that to soak in for a second. Real talk. I just want that to soak in. That's his daughter who on her way to the finish line after running back and getting her sneaker. Now, how this pertains to what I'm talking about is simply the DNA factor that runs in his family. His sons wrestled, and his daughter obviously got incredible athleticism when it comes to running. That is not no average speed we're talking about. I know they're gonna say, man, they don't have shit to do with boxing. If you're not a open-minded thinker, you know what I'm saying? I understand where you would refute even allowing your your thought process to digest this. I get it, bro. Because when people don't like a certain situation, they seem like, hey, I don't want to have nothing to do with it, especially the guy who's talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have nothing to do with this because he a Spence hater. I'm not a Spence hater, man. I'm just trying to explain a scenario on why Errol Spence is gonna have a lot more to deal with come fight night. Besides them hands, it's gonna be about the movement. It's gonna be about the strength. You know what he's learned in wrestling. It's gonna be about his overall athleticism on certain areas of the boxing game that he doesn't worry about. It is certain areas. I'm not gonna say it maybe. It's certain areas of Spence boxing cachet that doesn't bother Bud Crawford because he understands who he is as an athlete. Not just as a man, but as an athlete, he understands who he is. You can call it confidence. You know what I'm saying? You can call it ego. You can call it arrogance. You can call it being blessed. You can call it a lot of things. But individuals who are has that gift, that entire package, right? They just approach certain situations that we consider very difficult to process. We have to really think about it. We have to brainstorm it. We have to troubleshoot it. We have to perform deductive reasoning. We have to come up with a formula for a solution that works. With him, I don't think he thinks like that. Like he has to process everything and stress himself out. I just think, deep down inside, he believes in himself. That's all. Big Blunts and Boxing said, "What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling? WCS salute to you, bro. Salute to you. Appreciate you pulling up. Still a 50-50 fight for me, only because Spencer dog and he could be on pads. Oh shit! Look, I'm glad I didn't mention anything like that because I would have said that. Oh my gosh! Oh my damn! If I would have said what he just said, he said he could be on pads. Listen. If you great, you great. A fighter can be on pads, but if you great, you great. Pads ain't gonna matter. Pads ain't gonna matter, bro. Pads isn't gonna be a factor. If that was any way remotely close, and I'm not saying it is, I'm just reading the chat. This right here. I'm just reading a comment that was put on in the chat by L Dog. He says Spence can be on pads. I never mentioned that. I really don't care if he's on that or not. I don't. The reason why I'm saying that is I think with all confidence, man, that Terrence Crawford is that far ahead of Errol Spence when it comes to overall athletic ability and his sobriety and his how he go about living a healthy lifestyle. I know to some people that shit cut like a motherfucking fine little paper cut and like you squeeze lemon on that shit. It stings. I get it. But what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Seriously, what do you want me to say when it comes down to them two? I don't think it's a 50-50 fight at all. Like, listen how many people always say it's a 50-50 fight just because they didn't have the confidence to pick one fighter. How many people do you hear? How many content creators you hear? They don't want to pick one fighter. Well, I feel, but my heart, I like, but I feel. No. Pick a side. Pick a freaking side. You know what I'm saying? Listen, this is what you're gonna hear. It's especially if this fight is ever announced, right? This is what you're gonna hear. I'm at the end of the day, man, I like Bud, man. I started out supporting Bud. I started out supporting Bud and I rock with him heavy, man, 100%, but when it comes down to this fight, it's a 50-50 fight, man. And my heart's telling me that the other guy gonna win. Yeah, but I started off supporting Crawford. I like Crawford a lot, and, until, he got hit by Gamboa. And then I was like, I don't know if you hear the same shit all the time, bro. We are sick of it. Pick a side. Pick a motherfucking side. Pick a side. You hear all these cats talking about, oh, they're a fan of the sport. No, you're a fan of the fighter. If you're a fan of the sport, y'all, when you have interviews, you'll be asking very tough questions. You wouldn't be showing all that respect to these fighters. You're a fan of the sport and the fighters. Stop trying to be hard and act like you can't give these fighters love. They're the ones that's going through the damn hellfire. They're the ones that's enduring punishment. They're the ones that's trying to go in there and live to fight another day. But you have people that'll sit up here in this fight and say, you know what? I used to support Errol Spence, but he looked a certain way on this fight with Kell Brook, and then I looked at the way Crawford fought Gamboa, because they always got to bring Gamboa up. He fought Gamboa in his backyard, and I had to say, oh man, I'm rocking with Crawford. Shit don't make no sense, dog. They always got to give a comparison as to why they rocking with who they rocking with. I don't want to hear, you like Bud. You think he's gonna freaking, give Errol Spence his toughest fight, but yet you're going with Errol Spence. Come on, man. We can't do this no more. We can't do it. You have to pick a side heading into this fight if it happens. You can't be on the fence. That shit is painful. For those of you that love straddling those fences, you can't straddle the fence like that, man. Pick a motherfucking side. Period. Pick a motherfucking side, dog. It ain't no 50-50 nothing. This fight ain't a 50-50 fight when it comes down to performance. This fight isn't a 50-50 fight. I care zero about what anybody else is saying that it's a 50-50 fight. No. Errol Spence has debilitated that value throughout his career by not doing what he was supposed to for the sport that he's in to make a living. He squandered that. He's went out here and allowed his nightlife to interfere with his professional job. So much to the point where if he understood that this was a brutal physical sport, and if by chance you get yourself in a physical incident that alters your physical ability to perform in an occupation that requires you to be physically fit, then guess what? Who fucked that up? Who fucked it up? Y'all know deep down inside, looking at that Udina Sugas fight, that Spence did not look good. Deep down inside, you know damn well what the legends are telling you. You just don't want to digest it as the game it is. The legends are telling you that. They're telling you that based off what the public has seen play out in the media. That's not something WCS was putting out. That's not anything that the legends was at the Boxing Hall of Fame is saying. They pretty much just putting it out there, and people don't want to acknowledge it. Seriously. It's an imperative situation, isn't it? This has been spoken on. It has become a garrulous topic of conversation on this YouTube shit. It has caused individuals to alter the way they feel about another human being, all because they don't respect or support a certain fighter. Isn't that intelligence at its best? All because somebody don't support Errol Spence, somebody don't support Bud Crawford. And look, instead of just promoting the two brothers, the conversation is arrows back and forth, verbal sparring, jousting, whatever you want to call it. Combat tennis is back and forth all the time. But listen, I don't exclude myself from that. I just feel like other people make it personal because they know the reality. They know Spence fucked up. They know he did. They don't want to talk about it. They want to brush that shit under the rug. It ain't a rug big enough for that to be brushed under. See, I got to hold them accountable too for the hypocrisy, because they should have been on here speaking about what he shouldn't have been doing when they seen him fucked up in public. Then ultimately, he had a moment of no return when he had his accident. And though he's able to communicate and he'll say, I had no broken bones and so forth, that doesn't mean you didn't have CTE. Can you see? Can you visually see CTE just by standing in front of somebody? Can you see it? Can you see the areas of the brain that is gray, that's not inoperable or not 100% neurologically effective and transmitting? Can you see the damage from CTE just by staring at somebody? No. The CTE has to do with putting on a helmet in football. Why don't you ask a hind catcher in baseball, do you have to have on a helmet to get CTE when they come down there and try to run their ass over? I'm pretty sure some CTE there. I'm pretty sure some boxers will tell you, yeah, they've experienced CTE, but they like, but the casuals be like, how? The glove has padding in it. Oh my God. Disable your keyboard. Do not speak on boxing for a period of 180 days. God damn it, you're on probation. How? But I'm just saying, how can some gloves give you CTE? People don't understand that in boxing, you can get CTE, man, because these fighters have to spar. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Yard, at one point in time in his career, didn't have sparring partners. They felt that what they were seeing in the gym convinced them that this dude did not need sparring partners until he ran into that ceiling, that peak, where now it would be efficacious for him to have sparring partners, because he need to see different looks. He need to know how that feels in sparring, get used to different styles of boxing and all that. So that's where he at. Now in the future, remember I told you I probably won't be here, but in the future, when it comes to boxing, I think it's going to be some type of machine that a fighter can freaking train with, that will lessen the damage of these fighters going in there sparring one another and trying to kill each other. You know what I'm saying? Because that adds on to the subtraction of the boxing career. It does. It adds on years in subtracting their boxing career. That might be a little bit confusing, huh? Tread on the tires, limiting your boxing career. I know it can be a bit confusing, but just follow me. That can pretty much put you in that predicament. It can add on years to your life. You're supposed to be like 35, 35 years old, but boxing years, you're like 45, 50. And since you have all that tread on the tires, it may cancel your boxing career earlier than what you expected. I'm just saying. You don't have to believe me, Shawty. Well, I'm just saying, bro. I'm just putting it out there. That's all. But y'all keep a damn good eye on that situation. You know what I'm saying? Because the 4th is once again on deck, and we hope to God is indeed the truth. You know what I'm saying? We just hope for the sake of the YTC fake news channels that put the shit out like that, just because it sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit. Let's get to Canelo Alvarez. I spoke about him yesterday, but this is a little different, right? Okay, so I'm going to speak on the Caleb Plant and Anthony Darrell situation too. The press conference. I mean, I like the energy. I have no complaints on the presser. It was pretty interesting. I didn't like the Deontay Wilder Hellenia's virtual presser. I mean, they're one of the the bigger names on that card. I don't know why they was virtual. Real talk. That's not cool. That's not cool. But let's get to what Canelo said. Okay, what I talked about yesterday, we're not talking about that. He predicted Crawford is going to be Arrow. Me myself, I already know that without hearing Canelo tell me. But another thing Canelo mentioned once again was he's not fighting any more Mexicans. All right. And what does that tells me about it is that we may not see the mandatory have an opportunity again to face Canelo. It may be out the window, man, in the trash. David Benavidez, though he wants to prove himself, though he wants that big fight with Canelo, and with that big fight comes a nice little paycheck. He say he ain't fighting a Mexican, and then then David Benavidez say I'm part Ecuadorian. That's just like telling someone, hey, with the freckles I see, I'm pretty sure I have some white in me, and I have some Native Indian because of my hair. I have some black in me for sure. So hey, I qualify. You say you weren't fighting any more blacks. What about I got some Euro in me. It might be 1.3%, but I got some in me. But Canelo said he's not fighting any more Mexicans. Why? Because over half his boxing rec, from what I remember, damn near half, if not over half, is fights in Mexico. And listen, people, I'm gonna do a live. I've been saying I'm gonna do a live on this, but boxing has a format. Long as boxing continue to have this format where non-qualified fighters are being licensed. No, not don't no. I can't say fighters. Non-qualified participants. I don't want to give them too high of a value. Non-qualified participants or competitors or opponents. Non-qualifying opponents. That's what they are. Opponents. As long as boxing continue to license these guys off very minuscule medical requirements, really without no prerequisites. You know what I'm saying? They may test for HIV, shit like that, but they're not testing for shit, get your boxing license like weed, all that other shit when you initially get your license. It's really no SOP, standard operating procedures. So listen, when you see a fighter like Canelo with all those fights in Mexico, and then you see how he's adored now, it's not too many people is going to challenge how he built this record, because he built his record no different than a lot of other fighters that's out here fluffing their record. What is wrong with that? You hearing it from me? What is wrong with that? Everybody can't be a Teofimo Lopez. Everybody cannot be him. Everybody cannot be a Jahai Tucker. I'm talking strictly off no losing records. I know Jahai don't have a losing opponent on his resume with a losing record. I think Teofimo Lopez is the same. Not everybody cannot take the route, the soft route, and basically fluffing their pillows when it comes to their resume and building up the numbers. Because a lot of times the casual fan will look at the numbers and they don't care about anything else. But with Canelo, he has a lot of fights in Mexico. Do you think they're going to freaking talk about it? No, they're going to talk about what he's been able to do once he reached that front door. The front door that he said, this is a step-up fight for me. Once he got in the step-up fight, he continued. Boom. the next rung on the ladder. Accomplish that. Let's do it again. And he continued to achieve to the point where you looked at his chest plate and nobody was going to question that he is qualified to be where he's going to be. That's one of the best in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best in the fucking game. He's a cash cow. No one's going to question his fights in Mexico because of what he's been able to achieve once he was able to get to the front door. Once he was changing levels and he did it successfully, you know what I'm saying? He had the hiccup with Floyd, but really there wasn't a hiccup. A lot of people are going to say he was willing to take the risk. If they want to make an excuse as to why he got beat, he was green. They say he was green, right? But everybody thought, especially Latino boxing fans, they thought Canelo was going to go in there and wash Floyd. How old Floyd have to be? You know what I'm saying? How old does he have to be for people to believe that he would have won that? A lot of people weren't going for Floyd, but for Canelo, he took the risk. He came up short, but it took him to another level, all from one name. He went in there, took the L, and kept it moving. Floyd Money Mayweather, man. So when he have all these fights in Mexico, and he say all of a sudden I ain't fighting no more Mexicans, bro, it's look, they just letting certain boxers do and say what they want and move as they see fit because they're bringing them money. Just like Dana White and Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor bought Dana White and the UFC millions. When he went over there and fought Floyd Mayweather, he brought them millions, man. Millions on that fight with Floyd. Canelo is making people money. He's making not only himself, but he's making other team members, managers, whatever the case may be. He's making them money so he can move and groove as he see fit. But I just don't agree with him saying that at a time in his career where we want to see him fight David Benavidez. You went up there and fought for the man's, previous title, which he was never defeated for. And we can't continue to sit up here and hold David Benavidez to the cross. We can't continue to do that just because he lost his title and had a couple of hiccups. Boxing has several hiccups, man. Just because it's a fighter that don't have a title doesn't make it any better. It's plenty of fighters that fuck up in boxing. They're in a sport that's fucked up. They're in a fighting sport. They're in a violent sport. So how are we gonna sit up here and continue to blame David Benavidez and say he blew it with Canelo? How? Canelo, I believe he should fight one more Mexican. It should be the Mexican monster, dog. He should be David Benavidez, who contends in your division. Seriously, I hope that changes. I really hope after you go in here and places Gennady Golovkin in hospice care, I really hope that Canelo Alvarez reconsider what he said about not fighting any more Mexicans and fight David Benavidez. I really do. Mr. Gumbo on deck. Salute to Mr. Gumbo in the building, man. What's good with you, bro? He said, salute WCS in the chat. Salute to you, brother. Hope all is well out there on the roadways or at home. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? God bless you, brother. But, I look at, all the fights he had over there in Mexico. That's how he felt he should fluff his record. So when media want to call fighters bums and all this other stuff, you're talking about across the board a format that goes on every week that there's a boxing match. It's some fighter that's stepping in there with somebody who's never laced up a glove, or a fighter who has laced up a glove, but they have no intentions of being something special in boxing. They just here for the check. Yeah, give me a check. Give me another check. Give me a down check. They learn how to act in there. They know how to move around. They get a little look. They build up a little toughness about themselves, so they know how the game works. You're not going in here to win, you know. Yeah. I know. But just take about 2 or 3 rounds. Okay. About 2 or 3 rounds. Okay, cool. I move around. They know how to move around. They know how to spar. That's what they do. It's just you have individuals that refuse to understand that's how the sport is. So when you want to call a fighter a bum that actually that's on a level where you want them to win, but yet you don't want to pay attention because it's your favorite fighter. You don't want to pay attention to the fighters that they fought early in their career. You know, the laboratory isn't producing all these murderous killers in boxing. So you're going to have fighters who fluff their record like Canelo Alvarez. He super fluffed his record. Charmin, styrofoam, cotton, paper shavings, all that shit. Look at it. You know, better yet, let me help you out. Let me assist. And this is no knock on Canelo Alvarez because I know people are going to come back. Here go a link, Canelo. Please defend yourself. Here go a link. WCS, man, go get him. Send your people over there quick. Let me share this right quick. Because, when I hear all these individuals with voices, right, that know how to actually, get behind the microphone, they always call, and you hear them call fighters bums all the time. When there is a unison when it comes to this type of format. Check this out right here. Check this out. Look at this. This is Canelo Alvarez, 57 victories, 2 defeats, 2 draws, 39 knockouts. Let's go all the way down and look at all these Mexico fights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 at Daniel Martinez, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 at Axel Rodriguez Solis, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. All right, 22. Had a couple in the U.S., 22. Back to Mexico, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. 28, 29, 30. 31, 32, 33, 34, 34. 34, y'all. And Canelo's talking about he don't want to fight no more Mexicans. 34 in Mexico, y'all. So let's do the math because some people have a problem with mathematics. I want to make sure that I'm using a active app. So that was 34, right? So let's go. 34 out of 61 bouts leaves 27. So it's 34. We already know 34. You divide that into 61. Okay. 27 bouts he haven't had in Mexico, right? So let's do something else. You take 34 times 2, and it gives you how much? 68. So the reason why I said 34 times 2 is because it's going to be some people that say, well, 34 isn't half of 57. You know what I'm saying? 34 times 2 is 68. So he has a total of 61 fights, not 68, 61 bouts. Okay. 34 times 2 equals 68. That's a hell of a lot of fights in Mexico. So wipe away all the fights in Mexico, and Canelo is 27, whatever it is. We can't say 27 victories because he lost. So right now, extract Floyd. That's 26, and extract Bivol. You know, we're not doing that. So, that probably put him around 25. And then look, you have to extract the draws too. Put him down at 23. Damn, his record look a whole lot different, man. His record look a whole lot different. You take them fights in Mexico. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there, man. You don't have to love it, but I'm just putting it out there. Real talk. It's not anything to blast Canelo, anything. I like Canelo, but when it comes down to how many fights he had in Mexico, and people tend to want to just overlook that based off what he has going on right now. Hey, all I have to say is full speed ahead for him. You can't stop him. Canelo does what he wants to do, man. I am no way, shape, or form hating on him. He is making that money. At the end of the day, this guy is not even 35, 36 years old yet. He's not even 35, 36 years old, man. Now, let's go to Caleb Plant. Let's get to Caleb Plant and Anthony Durrell. A press conference went down today, and we know that drama sells, right? So Caleb Plant coming off his huge payday with Canelo Alvarez. He's 21 victories, 1 defeat. And that 1 defeat was back in November 2021. Okay. 11th round TKO. All right. So he's stepping there with Anthony Durrell, who's 34, 2-2, 25 knockouts. Anthony Durrell, he's pretty much coming off victory over Marcos Hernandez, the same month, back in November 2021. And then the Tyrone Davis situation, we all know how that ended. And shout out to Tyrone Davis, who took that fight on short notice. And David Benavidez, a KO in the 9th. The scorecards raised 74-78, 74-78, and 73-79. A lot of people thought that Andre Durrell was doing pretty decent in that fight until he got the cut over his eye. So, he's sitting in there with 2 losses, 1 to Benavidez and 1 to Badu Jack. That's not shabby. That's not too shabby. That's not too shabby. Real talk. It's not too shabby, bro. You know what I'm saying? He has twice as much experience. Twice as much experience, man. Which is crazy. Hold on for a second. But Anthony Durrell's record is not too shabby, man. He has way more experience than Caleb Plant, and he has one more loss than Caleb Plant. Both of them have a KO in their loss. So this seems to be a pretty thorough fight looking at the paperwork. You know what I'm saying, looking at the paperwork, but both of these fighters in their toughest match, in my opinion, came up short. You know what I'm saying? You're looking at David Benavidez. You know, the rail was stopped in the ninth. And then you look at Caleb Plant, who fought Canelo Alvarez. He was stopped in the 11th. It seems to be pretty much an even playing field as far as, you know, how their records play out. Don't look too much into the experience aspect of it. But their biggest names, in my opinion, they just came up short. You know what I'm saying? He has two big names, but we definitely have to look at freaking David Benavidez, and respect to Badu Jack, but we definitely have to look at, you know, David Benavidez as of the most recent loss to Anthony Durrell. So once again, man, the press conference went down. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to where is it at? I want you to hear a little snippet. Hold up for a second. I just told you I'm not gonna play it. Anthony Durrell said, "I never let this white boy beat me." Oh my God. Anthony Durrell said, "I never let this white boy beat me." Now you have to go in there and not let that white boy beat you. Seriously. You have to go in there and not get outboxed, not get outperformed, because you said it. You said it, bro. You said the words. You said the words. When look, this is why they don't really care too much when we start talking about racism on here in the YTC, especially. You know, and people gonna start whining and crying and running and throwing tantrums. But that's why this is why they don't care too much when racism is evident. It does exist, right? But when it's a black fighter talking about it, because of moments like this, they say, well, it's okay for y'all to say white boy. But if another fighter, even a Latino fighter, say, I'll never let that black boy beat me, then it's a whole nother thing. Oh my God. Pedro said, black boy, he's racist. Pedro's racist. Ban him. You know what I'm saying? We have to be cognizant of that shit, and we're not, because we put in so many years where racism does exist. It feels like people are so comfortable with us saying shit like this. But if any other body would say this shit, whether it's Caleb, the Caucasians, the Mexicans, you know what I'm saying? The Africans, even the Africans, man, they might get a little bit of pass, though, a therapeutic exemption. But man, let a Caucasian, a Mexican say, I'm not letting this black boy beat me. I never let this black boy beat me. Then all hell break loose, dog. People are gonna be lined up when you're supposed to have an open workout. And the first thing, just like ask this question, you have a tough fight coming up against a fighter that is obviously a different race than yourself. You said you would never let a black boy beat you. What did you mean by that exactly? Because I think you offended millions, individuals who have struggled through the civil rights era to change individuals like you. You're racist. And then you get the Mauricio Suleiman. Hey, if you call me racist, you're racist. I'm telling you, bro. Listen, I'm not saying the racism don't exist. Don't get it twisted. I'm from the South. It exists in the sport. It exists in life in general. But also, I call it as I see it, bro. I call it as I motherfucking see it. If somebody was to say, hey, I never let this black boy beat me. Why you call him a boy? Why you call him a boy? Why you call him black? Why could you just call him by his name? When we have moments like Anthony Darrell, man, that only builds on the desensitivity when it comes to blacks being discriminated against and profiled and everything else. People's like, well, you know, if you think back on it, look what Anthony Darrell said to Caleb Plant. He said, I'll never let this white boy beat me. So what are we supposed to do? Just overlook that? You know, that's what they're gonna say. We supposed to overlook that? Is that okay? Are y'all saying it's okay? Who agree with that? You know what I'm saying? This is not a good look. All I'm saying, it's not a good look. You can say what the fuck you want. It's not a good look. NYT on deck. What's good with it, bro? It's not a good look, man. See, you know, I don't have to ask permission to voice my opinion about what my people do. I've been around it my whole life. I've been around it. I experienced it, continue to experience it. I don't have to ask for permission. But look, but what I can say is we know damn well if it came out that somebody said black boy, it'll be all sorts of civil rights activists. It'll be a protest so huge, they'll be calling for the dismissal and banishment of this fighter. it would be too much to even come up with. Y'all hold on one sec. But I'm just saying when you're talking about I don't want to say black celebrities, but people know who Anthony Darrell is. People know who Caleb Plant is. Let's not play games. I don't know, man. I don't know what it has to do with the fight. I don't know if it's gonna sell one or more, 3 or 5 more tickets. I don't know. It's always like I can't say the rail is the nicest person because he really, you know, just to have a conversation with the dude is impossible damn near. You know, if you want to talk about, but he don't want to deal with media, period. You know, so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not the only one. There's been plenty of people around at the time he would not mess with media. And that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm saying. But only thing I'm mentioning is Canelo didn't say it. Canelo didn't say what Anthony Darrell said. And you can't say because Canelo ain't black. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with it. Canelo didn't say in Spanish, I'll never let this white boy beat me. You know what I'm saying? But Anthony Darrell want to build up the same type of temperature that Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant had. And I guess he's trying to do it in a way to bring more attention to the fight. I'm thinking when it's all said and done, they might shake hands. I think they will. I think they might shake hands, man. You know, building up the fight and then showing sportsmanship. Usually it equals itself out. It levels out. We'll see how it goes down, though. That's all I'm saying. Dub 100 say, hope Crawford makes Spence VADA test for 12 weeks. Listen, I know that sounds good, right? About, you know, people want to say VADA test and VADA test. I know that sounds good, but I don't have to be petty enough to start, you know, talking about, because I have before now. I'll say, okay, has he been tested? I have before, but I truly believe it ain't gonna matter against Crawford. It's not gonna matter if he's dirty or clean, dog. The results are gonna be the same. Shout out to Easy Work Boxing on deck. What's good with it, bro? Salute WCS. Y'all hit that like button. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. And y'all be sure to check out Easy Work Boxing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at it like it ain't gonna matter, y'all. I don't think it's gonna matter. He can come in there and be dripping shit out his trunks. Motherfucker should be leaking out his trunks. Hey, you want us to delay the ring walk until this clears up? This is extremely amount of leakage. I don't want that being on camera. I don't want them saying, hey, what is that wet spot? It's not really dead center in the rear. It's to the left. You know what I'm saying? What is going on with this? I don't think it's going to matter at all. Do what you got to do to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? If indeed that is the case, you know what I'm saying? You got to do that to stay healthy, to be competitive against a goddamn a mercenary like Bud Crawford, then do it. It ain't gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna matter at the end of the day. Real seriously, I totally agree. I totally believe that. It's not gonna matter if he's dirty or clean, man. You know what I'm saying? Andrew say Plant was beating Canelo in that fight. If he hadn't been chit-chatting later in the fight, maybe he would have been focused enough to win. Andrew, I cannot give Caleb Plant that certificate. I can't give him the certificate that he was at the moment. But yet the dude was conversing with Canelo in the 9th. I cannot give him that certificate as if it would have carried forward the 12 rounds and he would have got the decision. I can't do that shit, bro. I can't do it because he knew how the magnitude of this fight. Both of them cats had threw hands on the face-off. This was fucking personal. And then all of a sudden, Caleb Plant, hey, yeah, I guess the paycheck numbers start kicking in. The zeros was down in his, jumping over the fence like them sheep. He started to get happy. I don't know, man. He had a moment. He had a moment of euphoria when he got closer to the final round, and he's just wanted to then, really talk to Canelo and show his appreciation that thank you. You changed my life. You changed my life. Real talk. This 10 plus million that I'm getting, you changed my life, man. You changed my life. I appreciate it. And then he went downhill from there. No parachute. So I can't really bless him with a certificate that if the fight would have continued, he would have won. It's from the opening bell to whenever the fight finished. Crawford, he don't allow the fights to go to the scorecards like that, especially in the welterweight division. He doesn't allow it to happen. He doesn't allow it to happen. That's one way that you don't have to worry about the scorecards. I really don't. I really hope this fight doesn't go too long, because just like in the Sean Porter fight, they'll say, well, Terrence Crawford was losing before the knockdown, before the stoppage. Terrence Crawford was losing. He got the stoppage. Okay. I ain't being petty. Before that, he was slow started and he was losing the fight. Man, I heard that shit before. Get the fuck out of here, man. I don't want to hear that shit no more, man. I don't want to hear that. People want to continue to look at it like they don't understand how the fight is won. From the opening bell to when the fight is finished, whether it's via TKO, RTD, knockout, or it goes to the scorecards. However it is, that is how it balances itself out right there. And, I have to look at 6 straight stoppages by Terrence Bud Crawford, how he's able to go in and continue to finish these guys. And, the Spencer Holics, in between their guzzling, they'll sit up there and say some shit like, well, Terrence Crawford ain't been in there with nobody like Errol Spence. And everybody on Terrence Crawford record, Errol Spence can beat. Well, drum roll. I'm pretty sure that goes vice versa too. Because the talk was before Kell Brook was what? He ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. He need to fight a common opponent. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. Well, you get Kell Brook. Oh, he washed up. He ain't done no more. He beat Amir Khan. Oh, wow. Well, I guess he wasn't washed up too much. Well, that was Amir Khan, though. He did them both the same. He did Amir Khan and Kell Brook the same. He just made Amir Khan quit. You know what I'm saying? He just made him quit. But at the end of the day, man, this is a fight that's been spoken on so many times and in its most damning manner. Now we at a point where the bubble has risen again. The hot springs are at it again. You know what I'm saying? The hot springs are bubbling up that the fight is supposed to be announced on the 4th. That's what they're saying. I'm not saying it, but that's what they're saying. The fight's supposed to be announced on the 4th. Now, granted, early in my life, Bud Crawford was at 50 Cent Celebrity Game playing basketball. So I don't think too much of him worrying about going in the fight camp. Because the way he was draining threes, it seems like he's in shape, people. It seems like he's ready to go right now. The man was draining threes with ease. The net was wet. I would have liked to see Errol Spence on the court. You know what I'm saying? Seriously, I would have liked to see him on the court and him and Crawford was able to have a little bit of back and forth. You know, Crawford guard Errol, Errol guard Crawford. That would have set the pace a little bit more outside the ring of boxing because it needs that. Like, just like Bernie said, it would have been good if Errol Spence kind of welcomed, you know, Crawford to Texas. You know, just by showing up and them crossing paths like they did before. You know, just chopped it up a little bit, talk their shit, keep it moving. That's all. It would have been good, man. It would have been good to see them on the court together outside the ring. You know, he would have got slaughtered too. You know, Errol Spence would have got slaughtered there too. But at least they could have been out there playing a different sport and being competitive. It would have been good while it lasted. But then again, Al Heyman probably gave Errol the order. Hey, come here. Sit down. There's a basketball tournament going on. It's a game that's going on. And from what I understand, Terrence Crawford is going to be playing in that game. Now, I'm going to tell you, one time and one time only, you don't go nowhere near that arena. You understand that? Did I make myself perfectly clear? You don't go nowhere near that arena. I better not see you in the stands. I better not see you near the court. I better not see you in the parking lot. I better not see anybody doing a live that you driving by. I don't want you nowhere near that arena. You understand me? Okay then. You excused. You dismissed. Al Heyman give Errol Spence that order. I don't want to see you nowhere close because you might bump into Crawford and then we got a whole nother situation where they're gonna talk about the fight. We're trying to keep this as quiet as possible, y'all. Seriously. He said, I know we're in the middle of a fight right now, but I just want to take a moment to thank you. Hey, man. Hey. Al Heyman gave him the orders, y'all. Sit down. You know, he gave him the orders. He said, I don't want to see you nowhere close to that arena. Don't meet him at the airport. Don't send your people out there to find out where he at and pull up on them. I don't want to see any video out of him talking like y'all did before. I make myself perfectly clear. Hey, if it happens, there's going to be punishment and repercussions. You understand me? All right. Don't play. Goddamn, we didn't see nothing, bro. It'd be good if we would have seen just a little bit. But man, hey, I appreciate the time. I've been on like an hour and a half, man. You know what I'm saying? It's there's other topics I would like to talk about, but I have to do that another day. But hey, y'all that tuned in, man, always appreciate it. One love to all y'all, man. Thanks for rocking out with the channel and everything. Um, Team Williams is gonna be back on deck in October down in the ATL. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned for that. Jahad Tucker's gonna be back in the building on that Friday card on the Shakur Steven and Conseil main event. You get to see the Emperor return and Shakur Stevenson back to the motherfucking ring. And then you got, Keyshawn Davis, shoot character. You know what I'm saying? Jahad Tucker, like I mentioned, and Floyd Diaz. I mean, all of them gonna be fighting on the main card, man. That's gonna be a fire ass card in Newark. You know what I'm saying? Check out my video that I did when I was over there the first time. When he had his homecoming, and they did that special. He was down there with the kids in Newark. The mayor came out again, supported him. It was great times, man. Joshua Grid Jr. was on deck. Nathaniel Gallimore. Man, it was good seeing them kids like that, man. That's the way I grew up. When the kids used to flock into the community center. Shout out to Boylan Street Recreational Center. I'll never forget that. You know what I'm saying? That was good times. And I'm pretty sure they're going to do it again this time. I know there's a lot of kids, probably some of the same kids that was in that recreation center for that meet and greet that they did at the last presser that they had. So, big shout out to Top Rank also, man. Keep on putting on fire ass cards, doing the damn thing. But man, we should talk again, man. You already know. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports. Salute to everyone in the house and continue to support